Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much. If you're not, please be sure to click subscribe and hit the bell so that you get the notifications for the videos as they come out. Today, we have with us a special guest who is going to talk to us about how to get started financially in real estate investing. Hello, special guest.
Hi, Joy. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Thank you
Sonya
for
Rocvil.
coming. All right. So tell everyone your name and a little bit about you and your real estate investing journey.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, thanks again for having me on. I'm excited to be here. Hi, everyone. My name is Sonya Rocvil. I am the principal and founder of Bedrock Real Estate Investors. I transitioned from a career in corporate to starting my own real estate investment business, and I focus on the acquisitions and operations of multifamily apartment buildings. I syndicate multifamily deals. So with our investors, we've purchased 4 properties totaling 374 units and $18 million of asset value. And I have passively invested in properties totaling over 400 units and $28 million of asset value.
That is awesome. Okay, so one of the things that kind of boggles the minds of a lot of people when they get started is kind of like, where do I come up with all of this money? So you clearly know what you're doing. So how do you come up with the funds to do these big deals?
Yeah, so thanks for asking that. One of the things that we do is we syndicate deals, and that means that we're pulling money together from our investors. So what I did with our deals is I've been joint venturing with business partners, and through that we reached out to our respective networks. Unfortunately, we're not able to buy these apartments by ourselves yet. So hopefully someday.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. But creating opportunities for people who want to work with us and like the properties that we're investing in to be part of the acquisition of the properties. So that means that we reached out to our friends and family and we pulled together the funds, and that was how we came up with the money that we needed to actually buy the properties.
Okay. And you use the term syndicated. Is that the same thing as a JV, a joint venture, or?
Not necessarily. So syndication is really the process of pulling together money. I could
Okay.
have also done that on my own, or people can do it on their own as well. They don't necessarily have to be part of a joint venture or working with a group of people. So what we ultimately do then is just reaching out to people that we know who are interested in investing and pulling those funds together to purchase the property.
Okay. So getting it done as a group rather than trying to put forth all of the effort and, trying to pull all of the knowledge from yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I first started out, so I was fortunate. I had a lot of different groups that I worked with. I joined my local REIA, so that's where I learned, an introduction to multifamily. I also was accepted into a program called Project REIT, which is focused on diversity and inclusion in the commercial real estate industry. And as part of that program, that was also instrumental. And then I joined a multifamily investment group that was really pulling together people who wanted to do multifamily deals. And that's where I met my joint venture partners. It was great to find a place with like-minded people that were
Absolutely.
wanting to do the same thing. And once you pick a strategy for yourself, whether it's multifamily or single family or fixed and flip, whatever it is that you decide, it's good to be around a group of people who are doing that so that you can
Definitely.
learn and exchange ideas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I think so far I've put up 4 videos, and in every one, my guest recommends REIA Very,
Yeah,
very important.
it
Surrounding
is.
yourself with people that, you know, you can bounce ideas off of, people that are, you know, maybe a little bit further along than you. And then some people, you know, if you're a beginner, some people there are going to be at your level and you guys can kind of help each other grow a little bit. So that's definitely been a recurring theme is join a REIA, join a mastermind, partner up with people. So
Right. Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Having that like-mindedness really helps. And then you also don't feel like you're sort of swimming out there doing it by yourself.
yeah,
Um, I, I know initially for myself, I thought, okay, I'm going to find maybe like a 10-unit deal that I could probably maybe do with one or two other people that I know, and, you know, just try to pull together the money and try to figure it out. But then as I was talking to the joint venture partner that I ultimately ended up working with, you know, it became clear to me that I could probably do a bigger deal just
yeah,
because there are more resources amongst us. So instead of doing that 10-unit very first deal, we ended up doing a 48-unit deal. And it's something I don't think I would have been able to do, especially not at that period as a first deal by myself. So it was good to be able to have another person to work with on that project.
absolutely. So question for you. If someone wants to learn how to get into syndication and joint ventures and how to group with other people on investments, what should be their approach to learning? Like how do you get educated on something like this?
Yes, well, I mean, for me, it was joining the multifamily investment group that I was part of. They talked about that a lot, syndication. There are different groups, you know, on Facebook that you can join if you're looking at multifamily. I would also recommend, you know, just actually, there's also some information on YouTube and then other podcasts as well. Like Bigger Pockets has a lot of stuff on you know, syndication and just a lot of knowledge overall. So
Lots of
I would
information on YouTube.
yes, yes,
For
yes, of
sure.
course, right?
Wink, wink.
case in case in point, case in point.
Right.
So you know, I would definitely recommend doing that. And there are also some books out there as well. I think ultimately though, once you go down the path of syndication, you want to make sure that you find a lawyer and you have a good legal team that can help you through that process, because it's important, especially if you're pulling together, you know, a number of people, to make sure that you're doing all of the correct filings, SEC compliant filings, that you have the right paperwork, and that
Hmm.
you're in, you know, in align, you're aligned with what needs to be done from that perspective. That's something you definitely need to get correct.
Exactly. Yeah, that was actually going to be a question, you know, how do you protect yourself legally and how do you make sure that you have the right, you know, entity set up and all those things. So definitely having a lawyer kind of gets you going on that path, right?
Yes, yes, yes. And, you know, as you talk about, you know, building a team and having people around you, you know, having a legal team is also part of it. So your legal person and your attorney is going to help you not only with the contract negotiation, you know, when you're buying it and making sure everything is okay from a contract perspective, and that you're protecting yourself and that you're setting up the right legal entities. Ours have been LLCs. But then also doing the work that's required, if you're doing a syndication, that is, to you know, making sure all the filings are correctly and timely executed. And so that's a very important part of your, you know, of your foundation of team members.
Right. Gotta keep your affairs in order. Your
Yeah,
attorney, your CPA, all the things,
yeah,
right?
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
So, once you have your team together, everything set up properly, how do you decide who does what within the investing group? Are there certain roles, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's you know, usually what's recommended is that, you know, you outline the roles and responsibilities of each person, just so it's clear and you have it accountable for everyone. For us, we had similar but different skill sets. So there were certain things that naturally I gravitated towards, and my JV partners gravitate towards other things because that's their stronger skill set. So for your for your management company, or we always have an operating agreement among us as well, that will just help to outline how our entity will manage itself. Within that document, I have to say, we didn't have it outlined in there specific rules about, or notes about who was going to do what per se, but it does talk through how we'll split the funds, and just overall the purpose of the entity, like just how things are done, and these are things that we've always talked through. So I would say one of the most important things, though, is finding people that have similar values to you. I think that's the most important thing, because once you are you're aligned with your focus, and for us, it's always a focus on the investors, making the right decisions for our investors and for our customers, who are the residents in our communities, being committed to having clean and safe homes for people. So these are things that are really core to our foundation. So it really makes it easy. Of course, we have, sometimes we disagree on maybe the one way to do something or another. But at the end of the day, because I feel that our core principles are aligned, we can think it through and just figure out what makes the most sense for the people that we're serving.
Yeah, definitely. Because at the end of the day, you all have a common goal. And like you said, like-minded is important. So it all works itself out.
Yes,
okay.
It does. Also try to identify what your strategy is going to be. And find the groups of people who are doing the things that you want to do. For myself, I knew that I was interested in multifamily, but all I could think about was investing in New York. And that just seemed way over my budget, comfort zone, a lot of things.
Over a lot of people's budget, very expensive.
How expensive New York is. But in the group that I found, the people were from New York, but they were investing outside of New York. And that was something that was very eye-opening to me, because I wasn't quite sure how I would feel comfortable doing that, and how I would even determine where to invest. Since it wasn't New York, it could be anywhere. So where would that be? So it's that's why it's great to find people who are doing the things that you want to do, so that you can learn some of the practices, and then you can also share, even if you're new, there are things that you can do as well to help other people. So you're always
you have a skill set. Even if you're new, you have a certain thing that you can bring to the table.
Absolutely. Or you could help them with some of the research that they're doing, or you could be somebody who may know a few people who would be interested in the deal. Maybe that's a way for you to partner with them, because you can help to bring capital to a deal. So there are different ways that you can get involved in the strategy that you want to, even if you just started out. And I've seen people from various skill sets, use those skill sets to succeed and do very well.
So this has been really good. Anything that we didn't cover that you want to share with our viewers today?
Yeah. So I would say, I would just want to reiterate a few points again. I would say, when you're looking to work with other people, make sure that you're finding people who you're aligned with. Make sure that you understand for yourself what your own plan is. So, you know, is that like a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan? What are your own goals? Make sure you understand what you're looking to get out of the relationship and what you're willing to do as well, because it's very important to have that type of discussion. In a way, it's you're sort of like married for that deal that you're working on, even though it may be a joint venture with different people at different points in time. For that deal, you're with that person or with that group. So you really want to make sure that you have a good mutual understanding of each other's goals. And I would say that's one of the really critical pieces. And then, you know, always, and another thing is, I would always emphasize that you need to always continue to educate yourself. So it may be, even though if you do 1 deal, if you've done 10 deals, if you've done 30 deals, there's always something more to learn. So don't think that education stops with, oh, I read that book, I got it, you know.
Read another one.
Yeah.
Take another course.
You know, watch a video on YouTube, you know,
Absolutely.
go hit a podcast, continue to find ways to keep growing, because there's a lot of information out there, and it's actually hard to
and
keep
things
on top
change.
of all of it. And things change.
I mean, there are some things that are foundation with investing, but there are definitely always new ways of doing things, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, if you're making a business out of this, just challenge yourself to find those new ways so that you're keeping on top of what's happening in your business.
Absolutely. All right, Sonya. So you gave us a lot of information today, all good stuff. If people want to contact you and follow you, where do we go?
Well, you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn. Please just say that you listened to this YouTube video and you met me through Joy, so that I know who you are. And also feel free to go to my website at Bedrock Investors with an S.com. Feel free to sign up. I send out newsletters, and I'm happy to just keep you informed of some of the things that I'm looking at and what I'm doing.
Okay, perfect. And all of this information I'm going to put in the description section, so you guys will know how to get in contact with Sonya. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Hey, thank you. Bye.